They defined the golden decades of Hollywood, the swagger of the 60s, the grit of the 70s. Some are still with us today, still working, still watching their legacy grow. Others left the screen, but never left our memory. This is where 20 of Hollywood's most iconic actors stand today. Mel Brooks redefined American comedy with Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and The Producers, mixing sharp satire with pure slapstick. He became one of the rare few to win an EGOT, sweeping an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Today, at 100 years old, Brooks is still alive, sharp, and beloved as a living link to Hollywood's golden age of comedy. From The Man with No Name in Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns to the badge and scowl of Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood became one of film's most enduring leading men. He then reinvented himself behind the camera, directing Oscar winners like Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby. Now 96, Eastwood is still alive, continuing to work behind the camera after 7 decades. William Shatner boldly went where few had gone before as Captain Kirk on the original Star Trek, becoming one of the most recognizable faces in science fiction history. His career has spanned singing, writing, and reality television across 6 decades. At 95, Shatner is still alive and remarkably active, still reflecting on his real 2021 trip to space. Robert Wagner charmed audiences in It Takes a Thief and later the hit series Heart to Heart, becoming one of Hollywood's most recognizable leading men. Off-screen, his life was marked by both great romance and profound tragedy, especially the loss of his wife, Natalie Wood. Now 96, Wagner is still alive, one of the last living stars of his era. John Astin brought Gomez Addams to unforgettable, cigar-chewing life on The Addams Family, becoming one of 1960s television's most beloved and eccentric faces. Beyond acting, he also earned an Oscar nomination for directing, and later voiced the character in animated revivals. At 96, Astin is still alive today, a rare surviving link to one of TV's most iconic families. Michael Caine broke through in the 60s with Alfie and the Ipcress File, bringing a working-class charm that helped redefine the British leading man. He went on to win 2 Academy Awards across a career spanning over 6 decades and more than 160 films. Now 93, Caine is still alive, having officially retired from acting back in 2023. Richard Chamberlain became a television heartthrob as the young Dr. Kildare in the early 60s, then reinvented himself as the king of the miniseries era. His performances in Shogun and The Thornbirds earned him multiple Emmy nominations and Golden Globe wins. He died in 2025 at age 90 in Hawaii, just before what would have been his 91st birthday. Tom Skerritt broke through in Robert Altman's MASH, playing one of the film's sardonic surgeons, before the story became a television phenomenon. He later headlined Ridley Scott's Alien alongside Sigourney Weaver, becoming a quiet but steady mainstay of American film for decades. Now 92, Skerritt is still alive, having built a career spanning 7 decades in film and television. Sean Connery defined an entire era as the original James Bond, bringing effortless cool, charm, and danger to 007 throughout the 1960s in classics like Goldfinger and Dr. No. He later proved his range with an Oscar-winning turn in The Untouchables. Connery died in October 2020 at the age of 90, leaving behind one of cinema's most enduring and imitated legacies. Judd Hirsch rose to fame as the world-weary, philosophical cab driver Alex Rieger on the hit sitcom Taxi, earning multiple Emmy Awards for the role. He later found new audiences through recurring roles on Numbers and even a recent Oscar nomination. Now 91, Hirsch is still alive and remarkably active, still earning acclaim and award nominations well into his 90s. Al Pacino exploded onto the screen as the quietly ruthless Michael Corleone in The Godfather, redefining what a leading man could be in 1970s American cinema. He went on to deliver iconic performances in Serpico, Scarface, and Dog Day Afternoon. Now 86, Pacino is still alive and active in film, still commanding the screen more than 50 years later. Dustin Hoffman redefined leading man charisma with The Graduate and Midnight Cowboy, ushering in a new era of raw, character-driven performances that broke from classic Hollywood glamour. He went on to win 2 Academy Awards for Kramer vs. Kramer and Rain Man. At 89, Hoffman is still alive today, a 2-time Oscar winner whose influence still echoes through Hollywood's biggest performances. Kirk Douglas became a towering figure of classic Hollywood, starring in Spartacus and famously helping break the industry's blacklist by publicly crediting screenwriter Dalton Trumbo. His fierce, jaw-clenched intensity defined an entire generation of leading men. Douglas died in February 2020 at the remarkable age of 103, one of the longest and most remarkable lives in Hollywood history. Harrison Ford became a global icon, playing the swaggering Han Solo and the daring archaeologist Indiana Jones, defining blockbuster cinema for an entire generation of moviegoers. He remains one of the highest-grossing actors in box office history to this day. Now 84, Ford is still alive and working today, continuing to headline major franchises well into his 80s. Jack Nicholson delivered one unforgettable performance after another, from Easy Rider to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Shining, becoming one of the most awarded actors in film history. He won 3 Academy Awards across a career defined by rebellious, larger-than-life characters. Now 89, Nicholson is still alive, though he's largely retired from the spotlight these days. Christopher Walken brought a strange, magnetic intensity to film starting in the 1970s, most notably in his Oscar-winning turn as a traumatized veteran in The Deer Hunter. His unmistakable cadence has since made him one of Hollywood's most imitated voices. Now 83, Walken is still alive and working steadily, still taking on memorable roles across film and television. Eli Wallach became an unforgettable screen villain as Tuco in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, bringing depth and dark humor to some of the era's most iconic westerns. He continued working steadily across film, television, and Broadway for over 6 decades. Wallach died in June 2014 at the age of 98, having worked almost until the very end. Robert De Niro transformed American cinema through his collaborations with Martin Scorsese, from Mean Streets to Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, delivering some of film's most intense performances. He won 2 Academy Awards and remains a defining figure of 1970s New Hollywood. Now 83, De Niro is still alive and remains one of the most active actors of his generation. Warren Beatty helped launch the New Hollywood movement with Bonnie and Clyde, a film he also produced, changing the direction of American film almost overnight. He went on to write, direct, and star in acclaimed films like Reds and Shampoo. Now 89, Beatty is still alive, though he's largely retired from the screen and public life in recent years. Martin Sheen delivered a career-defining performance as a haunted soldier in Apocalypse Now, capturing the chaos and moral weight of the Vietnam era on screen. He later found new fame as President Bartlett on The West Wing. Now 86, Sheen is still alive and active, continuing to work and advocate for social and political causes well into his later years. From cowboys to cab drivers, spies to soldiers, these actors shaped the sound and spirit of an entire era of American film. Some are still with us, still working, still building on legacies decades in the making. Others have left the stage, but never left our screens. Let us know which of these icons meant the most to you, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories.